in some ways I was pleased. In some ways I was a little frightened to bring up the experiences. And I'll be perfectly honest, I had a lot of anxiety coming here today. Though I have read this book a number of times, read Undaunted Valor 719 quite a few times, I've earmarked it. I've read after action reports on it that hopefully Matt, and he did, he had some of these after action reports that he took his data from. But still, sitting here now and talking about it with you, and you weren't there, I can talk about it with somebody that was there, and not have anxiety, but you weren't there. And I often wonder, I'm telling you this, but what are you actually hearing? Because you weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell me about what you did, and I can listen to it, but I wasn't there. And so there's a difference.
Yeah. There's always going to be a little gap or a big gap depending on, the person's experiences. And, one thing I think is interesting about, when you start talking about coming home and what you're going through, I think the one thing that's good is if people actually understand what they're feeling a little bit. And I remember, like, you get a new guy that's overseas, and I'd look at a new guy that's overseas, and you could tell they're nervous, right? And, just say something like, hey, man, that feeling you get in your stomach, and they'd be like, trying not to tell you, but then they'd admit to it.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah, you're just nervous. It's your body getting ready to go fight. It's totally normal. That's what you should feel like. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Oh, by the way, you won't be able to sleep tonight because we got an operation tomorrow. You're not gonna be able to sleep tonight. So that's just the way it is. Don't worry about it. And I think it's the same thing coming home. It's like, you're gonna get sad sometimes. This doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you're trapped in the past. It just means you miss your friends, and that's okay. And so if you are thinking about something and it makes you cry, hey, yeah, that's what happens. That's the way it is. And I think if people understand that's normal, then they go, oh, okay, well, that's just what's going to happen. It's okay. And I think when people don't think it's normal, and all of a sudden they think I can't control my emotions, or I'm scared, or I'm sad and I shouldn't be sad and I shouldn't be scared, it's like, no, it's fine, no big deal. That's just the way it is. You do your job. You're going to be scared. You got the queasy stomach. You can't sleep at night. Okay, cool. Yeah. Guess what? There's a bunch of other guys that's not sleeping tonight either. No big deal. No big deal. Oh, you get home, you're going to feel sad. You're going to miss your friends. Yeah, we all miss them. That's the way it is. That's okay. And I think that helps people out a lot to be able to just say, oh, okay, what I'm feeling is not an isolated thing. It's just the way human beings process the tough experiences that they go through.
But we both served in the kind of service that at one time you didn't show that emotion.
Yeah.
And you weren't expected to. I think the service, and I hope, I've read that they have, I've seen interviews that they have, that now that's being taken into consideration. It's okay to express what you're feeling right now. It's okay to go seek counseling because it's not going to end up on your officer efficiency report or your annual report or whatever report you're going to get. And so I think that has been a great improvement with the way we receive our warfighting men and women, especially those who have come back and been engaged in combat. One thing I'll say about the getting excited and nervous about the upcoming mission, and I would do the same thing in Vietnam. I mean, people said, "Were you scared?" I said, "Well, hell yeah, I'm scared." but hey, this is what we signed up to do, and this is what we're going to do. And a lot of times, I mean, I said that trying to convince myself. But see, I was a platoon commander. I couldn't sit there and tell my troops, "Oh my God, I'm scared to death." I had to put on the show. I had to do that. But the interesting thing about it is once we strapped on that helicopter and we took off in flight, all of that drained. Yeah. It all drained. I mean, it never amazed me.
You got a job to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were busy. You were monitoring 3 radios. You were, talking to the crew there. I mean, it all drained. I mean, even going into Lola that morning when we were doing 90 knots approaching, we should have been done 60 or 40, and we were coming in there, but you sockle that thing back and that damn nose pitches up, and you're saying, oh, hell, I hope my tail rudder doesn't hit the ground, and then you put that sucker down, and you're taking fire all over the place. You don't have time to be scared. You react by the training that you've had, and by God, that training was good.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, I think, the same way everybody feels. I mean, if you're going to be nervous, it's usually before an operation. And for me, I was always just more nervous about my friends, my guys. That's what I was always worried about. Hey, I hope nothing happens to the guys, But then for us, it's once the breach goes, or once the breach goes, now it's on. Everybody knows we're here. We're doing what we're doing. Yeah. Once we leave the front gate, you're doing your job, and there's no time to think about that. You can't waste any mental capacity thinking about what could happen or what might go happen, because you got to do your job, and you don't want to have anything else in your head besides, hey, what do I need to do right now? How can I do my best job right now? That's what I'm thinking about. But again, I seen some nervous new guys and just, hey man, it's all right, no big deal. And I think that helps people a lot. Just like anything, anytime you can give somebody a heads up about what's about to happen, or what. I've had this feeling with training MMA fighters, mixed martial arts fighters, to go and fight. And I saw the exact same thing. This is kind of where I started putting it together. I tell them, hey, your stomach a little queasy? Yeah, I'm super nervous. Yeah, you're supposed to be. You're getting ready to go into a fight. Yeah. It's okay. And that would put them at ease, because they'd realize, this is just normal. This is just me getting ready to go into, that form of sporting combat. So
I think but to add to that, I think it's good to be a little nervous.
For sure.
Because you're more on your game.
For sure.